Single Point also provide consulting services to small F players.
Hello friends, I am Kanchan from Akulmach Technologies and you are welcome to the show Nations. And today we have an important subject to discuss which is International Girl Day Child, which is celebrated every year on 11th of October. And as the saying is that a girl or a daughter is the most beautiful gift a world can really give. So to discuss more about this, we have Sitesh Srivastav, who is also my colleague. He has a deep interest in corporate training. He has interacted many women, employers and employees around the continent, and I think he is the best man to really how he feels about this quote which I quoted. So welcome to the show, Sitesh.
Thank you, Kanchan. It is a great time to discuss about the subject that we are bringing in, and what better to discuss with you, who has been a proponent and also has seen it from the trenches. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Fine. Today we have a wonderful atmosphere. It's pouring from since morning. Lovely day. And then today we are discussing such an important subject, which is about girl-child right, how we really conceive the idea of rights for girls. So I would like to hear,
Yes,
because
Kanchan.
I know that 2020 theme of International Day for Girls is My Voice and Our Equal Future. So it's a very, very important subject and aspect to really have equal rights, especially for girls, and that too in developing countries.
That's right, Kanchan. And I mean, we belong to India, and therefore we have a history of our own problem or challenges with the girl child. And we have seen this for the decades before our independence in 1947, and after our independence, how things have moved from there. But on a global perspective, Kanchan, it is important to understand the woman, especially the girl children, and in different parts of the world. And I'm sure that every part of the world, whether it is Africa, Americas and the Caribbean, Arab states, North Africa, Asia and the Pacific, Europe and Central Asia, all of these have a very, very different, unique challenges regarding the girl child. And because of the biases that exist in all the cultures, in all the communities, because of the understandings of the modern world has not changed much from the medieval ages when it comes to the girl child. In our Indian context, we have seen, girl fetuses being, killed before they are born, and there are so many other social taboos around it. I have been in Africa, Kanchan, and I have been very, very keenly watching and observing and conversing with the women, my colleagues, the children in South Africa. And therefore, I have a peak view about the situation of the girl child in the African context, not only in the southern African part, but also in the central and the Western African part. And similar are little better or little worse, the situations can be found in all across the globe. So what are girls asking? What is the ask? They are demanding for life which is free from violence, access to the health, skills, recognition, investment as leaders of the social change. And as we were discussing, in our last week's sessions about women entrepreneurs, we still discussed that yes, the lip services have been done in all the governments, in all the geographies, but still more and more needs to be done in Africa, in Asia Pacific, and until and unless we understand the unique challenges, we are unable to solve. There is no universal rule, there is no universal policy, there is no universal aspect which can be applied. What do you think?
Yes, actually, it's very, very important to really think very deeply about. It's not a one-day celebration, and we have to celebrate maybe around the year. Because why we are doing this? Because we should give right to education, right to freedom, right to choices, and right to safety and security, which is very, very essential, integral part of a woman or child life, a girl, especially girl child life. Apart of this, I think there are many countries where young girls are given away in marriages, maybe sometimes at 10 or maybe 12, which and they suffer whole life due to this decision. A part of this, there's also very prevalent as child labor, which is again we have to as individual, as communities, and as country, we have to really eradicate this kind of practices, because uh, children has to be they have to go to school, they have to learn, they have to play, rather they go in any organization or any company and work day and night. So these are the aspects, these are the few finer points we have to discuss when we are discussing International Girl Child Day, because what I feel, any day or Women's Day or Girl Child Day, it has to be a concrete and a holistic plan to really work on that, and it's an ongoing process, because we have seen in past there's a lot of operations being done on especially the girl child.
Exactly, Kanchan. And another point that I would like to add here to your statement is there are a lot of micro plans in every country. All those micro plans need to be guided by an international goal plan and vice versa. Otherwise, as community, as nation, as vibrant society, we would do our own thing and then figure out there are still gaps. So, from the United Nations perspective, there are sustainable development goals, which are called SDGs, and there is a global 2030 roadmap is being approved, and it is in the final stages, is being approved by the United Nations member of states. Now, I'm last several years, I have stayed in Africa, and Africa includes both low and middle income women. Countries' poverty rates are still high. The majority of women work in insecure, poorly paid jobs with fewer opportunities for advancements. Democratic elections are increasing, and a record number of women have successfully contested, but it is still lip service, as I always say. And it is very evident and very, very starkly open when I have seen in Africa. In India, in some of the places, it doesn't seem, go to the big cities, you will not find any challenge with the girl child, though it might be inside every home, we might not even know. But when we go to some communities, some small towns, small villages, it is becomes very evident. And therefore is, sometimes it becomes a local issue, sometimes a political issue, sometimes it takes a national commission for women, NCW, in India to step in. And the recent spat of cases that we are hearing in our Indian context is actually a slap on our own well-being as a nation state. though women are a source of economic vitality across the countries, across geographies, in our own country, we see girls participating in more and more professions, more and more in the schools. Still, a lot of bias remains inside the homes. And at the same time, I sometimes also feel, Kanchan, the feminist movement needs to bring in equal amount of men into their folds. At the same time, the feminist movement should also target mothers who are growing up children. It is important to bring up children from a very, very inclusive way, and mothers and fathers, parents, both play a very important role. I would say mothers play the biggest role in this, because I still feel the original umbilical cord relationship can never be broken with a mother. What do you say?
Yes, I really appreciate this comment and this kind of thought process which you have just we have discussed. But what I feel is still we have gender-based discrimination in most of our society, and sometimes I really pain to see this still kind of practices, because in India we are a country where we always celebrated womanhood right from antiquity. We have Durga, a symbol of ultimate female goddess, actually, female's energy and power. And somehow, maybe in medieval times, due to invasion, due to Muslim invasion, there was decline in the equality uh, uh, in women, from women's side only, because they have to go to parda system and all that, and eventually it decreased, and today we have young girl child is not being taken care, they are not sent to school. But though in last few years, maybe 10 years, somehow little mentality is being changed. People are sending their children to the school, and they are all understanding about the importance of female education, because if one female is educated, the whole family is being educated. So that is the base. So it's very important that girl child has they should go to school, and they even women, they have to be educated to build up an educated society. So though we are progressing forward, but I think we need to do more.
That's true. That is always every day we need to get reminded, and I would think this day will come, the day when the world does not feel the need for a feminist movement. If both are equal, if there is gender-based equality, why there is no need for a feminist movement?
Right.
And there are other side stories as well, other side movements as well, not being spoken about it. And therefore,
International Girls Day reminds me the responsibility we have to make girls' lives more happier, isn't it?
that's right, Kanchan. It has to change from, मैं नीर भरी दुख की बदली और तुमको ढूंढू तुम में ढूंढूंगी पीड़ा तुमको ढूंढा पीड़ा में, from those days of Mahadevi Verma till what our Azim Premji says, that a girl child who is even a little bit educated is more conscious of family planning, health care, and in turn, her children's own education.
Right.
That's the spirit.
Yes. So I think it's very important to have educated girl, educated women, so that the whole community and nation become educated and more sensitive to the requirement of the coexistence and family and nation building. It was so wonderful to talk to you, Sitesh, today. So till tomorrow, I'll say bye-bye and we'll discuss tomorrow some new topic. Bye-bye, Sitesh.
Thank you. Thank you.